Hello students, today we are here to discuss basics of linear equation, but before we start today's lecture, let me introduce my institute and myself before you. EduNotech Private Limited is an institute which works toward betterment of students' academic career. We do not behave like a typical coaching institute, but we behave like a guiding force in their career. We also hold various level scholarship competitive examination, not only to give competitive exposure to the student but also to support students all across the country, including the remotest area, financially and with better education quality. I am Shubha Patel and I am currently pursuing BTech from JSS Academy of Technical Education, Noida. It is an AKTU affiliated college and I have completed my schooling from Delhi Public School, Allahabad. So let us start today's lecture. Today we are here to discuss linear equation in two variables. This forms the basis of many types of question which is asked in the reasoning part of competitive exam. So before going there, it is first very important to clear the basics. So what is linear equation? So basically linear equation is a polynomial. And what is a polynomial? So a polynomial is an expression of degree that is only whole number. What are whole numbers? Whole numbers are numbers starting from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and till infinity. Okay? It does not include negative integers. Only positive integers and 0. So if someone says, is 4 a polynomial? Say yes. Because 4 has x with degree 0, because any number with degree 0 is 1, so 4 into 1 gives 4. So 4 is a polynomial of degree 0. Now what is the degree of polynomial? Degree of polynomial is highest exponent in the expression. Suppose there are expressions like ax power 4 plus x cube plus 2x plus 1. This is some kind of polynomial and the highest degree of variable x here is 4. So this whole polynomial has degree 4. Before going to equation, let me tell you the difference between expression and equation. So expression, anything you write becomes expression, like 4x plus 1 plus 2, x plus 3, whatever you write, this becomes an expression. But when you add equality and when something is equality is added, then this side will become equal to something on the other side. This equal to signs indicates that now this expression is an equation. Okay, so now we are through with the basics. Let us now understand what is linear equation. Let us repeat. Linear equation is a polynomial. Polynomial is an expression with degree only in whole numbers. Now linear equation has degree 1. Its general representation can be as ax plus by plus cz plus blah 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 and some constant is equals to something. This is general representation. This something can be anything. 0, 1, 2 or whatever, any x plus 3x plus y, anything this 0 can be. This is the most general representation of linear equation. The representation we use is like this: ax plus by plus cz plus something plus some constant is equals to 0. How come this becomes 0? It is that whatever is written on this side has been shifted to this side. Okay? Now this is linear equation. But what we are here to discuss linear equation in two variables. So linear equation in two variables will be having only two variables, x or y. This variable you can name it any I, z, q, y, whatever, but just two. Okay? For representation purpose, we use x and y. It is very common. So ax plus by and now we have degree 1 and maximum degree 1. So what the degree can be? It can be 0, and any variable with degree 0 becomes a constant. So here will be some constant is equals to 0. So this representation is representation of linear equation in two variable. Okay. Now, linear equation in two variable, how to solve them? Now, till now we have understand what is linear equation, but how to solve this linear equation is the real question. So there are three ways to solve this linear equation. The first one and the most fundamental one is graphical. The other one is substitution, and the most important and the only used type of method is elimination. This is used in solving any kind of questions. Okay. So there are three ways to solve these kind of linear equations. First being the most fundamental graphical, then comes substitution, and the most important is elimination. Okay. So now today we are here to discuss graphical method. So what is a graph? Graph is a mathematical tool used to solve such kind of equation, and it can be represented on a piece of paper. Graphs are mainly of two types, 2D and 3D. 2D graph has two axes, x and y. 3D graph has three axes, x, y and z. Here you have a paper. This paper has only two dimensions, this dimension and this dimension. And these two dimensions which are mutually perpendicular to each other is called a 2D graph. So now this becomes a 2D graph. Okay, we are through with this. Any 2D representation can be made on 2D graph. Now what is a 3D graph? Here you have a cube. And suppose you are standing at one corner. Now what can you see through this corner? You can see this dimension. Okay, you can see this dimension, and you can see the dimension that is at the back. Okay, there are three dimensions, and all these dimensions are mutually perpendicular to each other. So this becomes a 3D graph. This is a 2D graph and this is a 3D graph. Okay, 3D graph has three axes which are mutually perpendicular to each other, and the point where these axes meet is called point of origin. And this point of origin is mostly used as a point of reference. Suppose we say some point is 1, 2 here, that means from origin this point is 1, 2. Okay. Now let us see how to solve graphical graph to use solve linear equations. Suppose here we have there is some equation. Suppose this equation is x plus y is equals to 1. The most basic equation I am trying to take so that it is easier for you to understand. X plus y is equals to 1. And suppose there is another equation called x minus y is equals to 2. Right? This is in the form of ax plus by plus c is equals to 0. Okay. Now, this is a linear equation. We need to graph this on 2D graph, right? And let me tell you that a linear equation on a 2D graph is always a straight line. Okay. Any linear equation on a 2D graph will be some sort of straight line. Okay, this, whatever, any straight line. Okay. Now we need to graph this on the graph. Now we need 2 points to make a straight line. Minimum 2 points is required, and we will get 2 points from these equations. There will be one line from this equation and one line from this equation, and two lines can meet only at one point. There is no other way two lines can meet, and this point will be common to these two. So whatever this point is, 1, 2 or whatever it is, it will be common for these two, and this point will become solution of these equation. Okay. let us draw. How to find points? How to find points? We have graph here. We have x-axis and y-axis. A point on 2D graph is represented by some coordinate AB. And what is this coordinate? A is point on the x-axis and B is point on y-axis. Right? Now, how to solve this? Let us take any value of x here. Just for simplest value, we will take it 0. So that our solving becomes simplest. If x is 0, then y will be 1. Okay. Now I have to take, y will be 1. Now I have to take another point. Suppose if x is minus 1, then y will become 2. Now we have got these 2 points for this line. Now, similar way for here. X and y. I will take first value of x as 0 because it will simplify my solving. X 0. Then y will become, this here is 2. Y will become minus 2. Now I am taking x as 1 just to make it simpler. Then y will become 1 minus y is equals to 2. Y will become minus 1. So here is the point. Now we have to mark these points on a 2D graph. Y, x and origin. This is also x, this is also y, but in negative direction. The first point being 0, 1. 0 on x-axis will be here and y on x-axis will be here. So this will become 0, 1. Other point is minus 1, 2. Minus 1 will be here and 2 will be here. Minus 1 on x-axis will be here and minus 2 on y-axis will be here. So this is the point. Minus 1, 2. Join these 2 points. Okay. Now, what is the other point of the second equation? This line is of the first equation. Let me mark here. X plus y is equals to 1. Linear equation is represented as a straight line. Now, for this equation, we have found these 2 points, and we will plot these 2 points on the graph and join them to make a straight line. 0 minus 2. 0 on x-axis is here and minus 2 on x-axis will be somewhere here. 0 minus 2. 1 minus 1. 1 on x-axis is here. Minus 1 will be here. So this becomes 1 minus 1. And we plot these 2 points. Now this point is the solution. This is an intersecting point and it becomes the solution. Okay. If there was a real graph with us, we were at the position to tell what are these 2 points exactly, because there would have been markings and then marking on x-axis, marking on y-axis. This would have given us the solution. But here we do not have any such graph. Okay. So this is how we solve a graph. Now let me conclude. What is a graph? A graph is a mathematical tool to solve equations. How does a graph help us in solving linear equation? A linear equation on a graph is made as a straight line. And if there are 2 linear equations, then those 2 straight lines, if they are not parallel, then they will intersect at one point only, and that point will be the solution of those equations. And if there are parallel 2 lines, then that means there is no solution of that equation. Thank you very much for watching our video.